Hello human beings, I am crazylegsjan. Welcome back to VR in a wheelchair. Today we're reviewing hfpetsvr. hfpetsvr is built for VR from the ground up, so everything is working nearly flawlessly. It's still in early access, so some things still need some work. When you start the game, you're asked what hand is your dominant hand. After that, you get to the actual main menu, where you have New Game, Load, Settings and Quit. If you go into Settings, you are presented with a good settings menu, where everything important is placed in categories. If you click on Player, you can adjust your dominant hand, your height, your crouch height, the way you turn, toggle grip and a few other things, and it's amazing that you get so many choices, so you can really adjust it to your liking. The rest of the menus is as we expect them to be: sound, multiplayer, language and so on. Yes, this version has multiplayer. Sadly I can't try it as I don't have any friends that has this game yet. When you start a new game, you are thrown into a tutorial that explains fairly well what you need to do. It could use some adjustment here and there, but in combination with your watch on your non-dominant hand that shows what task you need to do to the house, then you will finish the tutorial without many problems. One thing though is that the tutorial screen is to the left of the center. Can we place it on your arm or something? Also, so it's not as intruding when working on the house. I, for example, had a problem when I put on wallpaper that the tutorial screen basically covered the whole wall. The tutorial is also not made for left dominant hand, as some of the buttons are shown on the wrong hand, but the game is still in early access, so it will most likely be changed. I started a level after the tutorial, and I enjoyed walking around the house cleaning it. It had Husky in it, but the problem was that the dog was extremely needy and I wasn't sure what would happen if I just ignored it. Also, I can't ignore pets, they're too cute. The dogs pretty much follow you around the house, and the cats, at least the one I have in my in-game house, goes around by itself, just like they would in real life. I really like how the menu system is made as small buttons that you click on to activate a tool like the mop or hammer and so on. I would have loved to see a text under the buttons when buying new furniture though, or when looking at flooring or walls or other interior things, as I sometimes had trouble remembering what was what when like placing a floor. I would also love if the flooring and wallpaper didn't spin around 360 degrees, because why do you need to see the back of a wallpaper or floor? So let it spin 90 degrees maybe, or rather wiggle the 90 degrees is probably the right choice of word to use. I feel like the way you interact with the tools in the game works really well. It's not perfect, but it works as of now. I found it a little hard to figure out how to point the mop/vacuum in the right direction at times, which is the reason I ended up swiping it around on the floor. This is most likely going to be adjusted, because as I said earlier, the game is still in early access. I didn't really enjoy putting down flooring. It works in the way of you getting a pile of tiles on the floor. You then place them by putting or throwing them to where they need to be, and then they are placing themselves. I found it boring compared to the other interactions, but I also think it's the right way to do it, for it to not be a copy of like how you put on a wallpaper, and be tedious. The placement tool, aka the gun, was a bit weird to use until I got used to it. The top left tool, looking like a donut, is a rotate tool. The top right tool, looking like a sphere, is a free move tool. And the bar in the bottom is a snap move tool, but it needs some getting used to. And also it doesn't tell you how you remove the tools after you're done. You remove the tool by pressing on one of the buttons on your left hand. I currently can't remember which button it is. As the game suggests, it has pets in, and yes, you can pet the pets in this too, as you can in the non-VR version. You can also play with your pets with different toys, like a ball for the dogs, and a laser pin for the cats. The game is really fun and pretty much as addicting as the non-VR version of House Flipper. The added pets makes it not so lonely to run around fixing houses, which is obviously an added bonus. The pets will trash stuff if they get annoyed, which adds to the task of the house. So you guys better keep those pets happy if you don't want to keep fixing the house. House Flipper Pets VR is fully playable as a wheelchair user, if you can move your arms obviously. The tools extend so they always seek out the plane they belong to, which makes it a bit easier to do the tasks. The settings does so no matter how you want to play, you can adjust it to fit your needs. The game is on Steam for 19 euros and 50 cents. I don't know if it will get to any other platforms, but time will tell. If you feel like I'm missing something or could have done something differently, then leave a comment and remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to check out this video here where I'm reviewing Cooking Simulator VR.